Oh, shoot. I already grabbed these chips.
Intern's eating his chips. The stream went down.
He said, let's go live, and then took a handful of chips.
Can you see us? Can you hear us? It would not be a Monad in the morning without some extremely major, soul-crushing technical difficulties. And speaking of crushing, I'm going to murder my thirst. This time with a water.
My thirst thought that it had a chance. Unfortunately, I have the Grim Reaper of Thirst in my hand.
What do you got there?
I have Sweet Reaper. Whew. Sweet tea times agave times vitamins. Murder your thirst. Here's Danny.
Oh, that is some crisp, clear
Mountain water.
Absolutely love that. Needed a water after a couple teas, and
This one's a little medium.
thankfully, Liquid Death has hooked it up. We're murdering our thirst. We should have Telegram wallet calling in momentarily. This has been, I was just saying to Jessup during the intermission, this is probably my favorite episode yet. It is episode 40 of Monad in the Morning. The first Monad in the Morning on mainnet. The first of many, though. So while it is currently my favorite, we've got a lot of weeks to come, a lot of Throughput Thursdays to come, and certainly a lot of opportunities to murder your thirst.
And we were working on getting Telegram Wallet back into the stream. You may have noticed we're on a new stream.
Yes, we are on a new stream. Some technical difficulties.
We need a different name for that. How about this? Anyone who comes up with a good name for technical difficulties, so we can stop calling them technical difficulties, gets a spin.
Oh,
Chat, what's the review on the show today thus far? Let us know. Hopefully this is one of the better, if not the best episodes of Monad in the Morning yet.
Dude, that Prisma... The Prisma was like the best segment we've ever had, I think. I don't know if I'm like overselling it, but that was seriously epic.
No, Bailey's a legend. Very cool product. Very cool industry. And some great community questions as well. A lot of laughs, a lot of fun. So, that's exactly what you hope for. We're also hoping for Telegram Wallet to hop in momentarily, but
does anyone have a line on them?
I pinged.
until,
You know what? I pinged him on Telegram, where most of the conversation in crypto happens, and we're bringing it to the live stream today to discuss the wallet and integrations with Monad and cool things that you can do on that now and in the future.
I'm gonna arrange my Liquid Deaths here.
Here he goes.
How are we looking? Bingo.
Hello.
Good.
Is it working? Finally.
Yes, we are live on stream. Halil, thank you for joining us today. This is a very exciting episode. A lot of people are saying it is the best episode of all time of Monad in the Morning, myself included.
Everyone's saying it.
And it wouldn't be complete without getting to talk to you about Telegram Wallet today. How's your day going so far?
It's been going great. Well, the day is over. It's now 9 p.m. So we've got a few calls after, but the day has been going well. What about yours? What's it like a week after TGE?
It has been an absolute roller coaster of a week. I don't know. It's been very exciting to see 3 years of work come to fruition, and everyone get to come on and actually experience Monad and trade on it. We had Monday Trade On before. Great place to trade spot and perps on Monad. We had Prisma on, who is doing a lot on the future of robotics that is powered by Monad. And now rounding it out with potentially the best distribution wallet that exists in crypto, Telegram Wallet. Very, very excited to have you guys come on and discuss what is the first week of Monad been like on your guys' side?
It's been really great. This is the first ICO that we have ever done on the Telegram site. So previously we had just a whitelist of basically the top tokens in crypto, and this is the first we added right after or like during the actual listing of the token. So we got the users quite excited beforehand, and we explained what the advantages, let's say, what novelty Monad brings in, which helped get people quite interested in the listing itself. So I think overall it was quite a big success.
I'm personally curious. Maybe I should have seen this, but because I didn't, how did you kind of go about telling users of Telegram, obviously one of the most widely used apps in the entire world, with both crypto native users for sure, also many non-crypto native users as well. How did you go about telling them about Monad?
So the advantages of being natively integrated into Telegram are the fact that you don't have like a notification system as you do get with the apps, or which is non-existent in browser mode. But actually, it's as if you're having a conversation with any other contact that you have in Telegram. So the wallet exists as an app within Telegram, but it also exists in conversation format. So you can search up wallet in the search bar on Telegram, and it'll be as if you're having a conversation. And thus, notifications aren't really like an annoying pop-up as you get usually. It's actually just a text message as if you received it from a Telegram contact. So that gives us quite a lot of agency to do some very specific announcements and delivering information in a different way as opposed to just a notification. So we can contain a lot more content in one of these messages to get people interested. So we mostly used this type of mechanic where we just send a person a message describing what Monad is. And we also obviously used some programs to get people interested. So whether that is a very small airdrop to get people not just interested but actually financially interested, and also we got people interested through some trading competitions, like very small ones that we ran. So if you do a certain action, you get to take part in a competition. So we do that as well. Are you sponsored by Liquid Death, by the way?
Yes. Yes. Newly, I don't know what we can say. We potentially will be sponsored by Liquid Death in the future. If anyone who works at Liquid Death is watching this stream, because what a no-brainer it would be to come on and do this.
They did generously send us these waters and teas, and we've been having a good time murdering our thirst for the past 2 hours and 14 minutes on the show.
Yeah, so it's half a bit and half. They sent us all this stuff, and so we said we would drink them on stream.
I'd go for the lime one if you got any of those.
Oh,
lime. I don't know if we had a lime one.
I'm gonna check. I know Danny, you have a couple questions teed up. I'm gonna check and see if we have a lime because we would do that in Telegram Wallet's honor.
Oh, absolutely.
Amazing.
We did have a good question come through from the community. Shout out Decatan, longtime Monad in the Morning super fan, who asks, how hard, so like how technically challenging is the Monad mainnet integration into Telegram Wallet, and which Monad dApps are interesting to you on Telegram? Decatan mentions they personally like Telemafia.
I have checked out Telemafia. For now, we started off with, let's say, two main integrations. One is simply just on-chain deposit withdrawal. So in terms of that was quite a straightforward integration because it's EVM compatible. We haven't done actually that many. Actually, we haven't done any EVM integrations except Ethereum itself. So maybe it's not as easy as if we already had like 10, 15 layer 2s. But we thought we'd do the first one, Monad. So let's say relatively straightforward. Uh, so right now, I think we only have an integration with one of the staking providers, and that is for the earn, which is essentially just staking. So for future apps, we are working right now on a list of apps that we can actually support as well. But just as a reminder, the wallet is custodial. So any form of interaction with apps would be in a CD5 format. So maybe that would limit us from using quite a bit of them, but we'll have a look and decide. So we're talking to Raj actually on your team about that.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Raj is fantastic. He's been on MON Out in the Morning a couple times. We'll have to get him back on soon, and maybe alongside yourself. Similar direction for this question, who comes from our new favorite, Warsong ID.
Yeah, you got another one?
Warsong ID asks a great question. Yes, another one. You mentioned that the only integration you have on the EVM side, at least thus far, is Ethereum mainnet. Why Monad? Obviously, many blockchain projects out there, yet you chose to support Monad mainnet from day one. What played into that decision?
Maybe first I'll answer on the EVM aspect specifically. We don't want to really confuse users with too many chains. So say we had 15 layer 2s. I think it would be very difficult to make a value proposition for all 15 at once. Monad is very unique in what you guys offer. So it makes a lot more sense to integrate with Monad than do a bunch of different layer 2s all at once. So as I said, like Raj, I've known Raj for a while. For 2 years, I've known Kiernan. I don't know what he goes by nowadays. Yeah, Fitz. So I've known Fitz for 3 years, and that was my initial intro into Monad. So I think he was probably one of your earliest members. I do like the way that you have been operating this year, and we have been looking at the what partner to choose for the first TGE, and the approach really stood out from the Monad side. Both have you been doing your partnerships, how you were doing your airdrops, and lastly, actually, just from the conversations that I've had with you guys, with Fitz, with Raj, and Joe and the whole team. So it's more of being a fan of your principles and your philosophy.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, while from a product standpoint, Monad layer 1 blockchain and Telegram wallet, broader Telegram ecosystem have obviously very different types of products, but there definitely is this like shared value in terms of privacy, permissionlessness, decentralization, equal opportunity for users across the globe, and that's something that I think is a reason why so many crypto native people are long-standing Telegram users in general. But I think there's definitely that synergy in terms of like shared values and shared vision for what the future of these products can be.
I agree. I also would love to be. Sorry, I think the camera. Okay, there we go. I think it would be great to be back on your program in a few months, once a lot more of the applications are actually live. I'm particularly looking forward to the gaming ones. So it's kind of difficult to answer right now why specifically Monad, because it's hard now to bring like direct examples of apps that are already live that also fit into the Telegram audience. So on Telegram, games are really, really popular. I think gaming is going to be a huge thing on Monad as well. Come a few months time. So
For sure.
let's do this again in a couple of months.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think the audience will demand it. I don't think we have given any. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I can't actually see this because you're reading out audience questions, but I can't actually see any.
Oh yeah,
on-
we have this whole back end system set
Oh,
up.
They come through from chat though.
Yeah, they come through from the Twitch stream chat, and then
Okay.
we pull them from there, and then we put them on a sheet, and then we pick the good ones.
X is also leaving some though.
X is also leaving some if you want to join the X stream to check them as they roll in.
I'll do that next time because I don't
Yeah.
know, I can figure out which.
We have
it
not
is.
talked about anything that is happening in the coming weeks around gaming, but there is something to be excited about, and Telegram is also included. So we like to do announcements, impromptu announcements on Monad in the morning. I'm not going to spill all the beans, but if you like gaming, you like Monad, you like Telegram, there's a lot of cool stuff in the pipeline for you. Danny, do we have any other
Yeah, well,
Worthwhile community questions?
Mirth Mono asks another
We're
question.
spamming Mirth Mono.
Mirth
today.
Mono, well, Mirth Mono has some fantastic
They're
Like the
Banger
questions.
best question
questions.
guy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So, obviously the crypto space in general has a lot of like bad actors and scammers, and across the board, security is like a really important priority. And Mirth Mono asks, how are you approaching security specifically for the Telegram wallet? What kind of safeguards are being implemented to keep users safe? So yeah, what are the thinkings on the security side?
Thank you, Mirth Mono, for all the questions. Really appreciate it. So from our side on security, so there are two layers to security. One is on the Telegram side, and I hope all of you have 2FA on, because this is the most important thing to protect the Telegram account, 2FA. So this means you're tying in your email to your Telegram account, and every time you log in from a new device or a hacker tries to log in from a new device, they have to enter a passcode, which only you should know. So as long as you have 2FA, then it becomes exceptionally difficult to actually have your account broken into. At that point, it's all going to be down to human error, like signing in to Telegram so someone sends you a link, you open the link, you sign into Telegram on that dodgy website, and then suddenly your account is compromised. But even at that point, you can also clear your sessions, at which point the person will get logged out. So that's the first, let's say, most important thing that you should do, which is have 2FA on your Telegram, and obviously don't log in to websites that you don't know. There are some official Telegram websites like fragment.com, where you can buy Telegram usernames, Telegram Premium, etc., etc. So to that, obviously, you can log in if you check the URL, but in general, it's not a good idea to log into websites using a Telegram. So 2FA, and on our side, actually, if you are a financial active user, so if you have any sort of balance, we highly encourage you, and in some cases, if the balance exceeds a certain amount, force you to install a passcode. So from our side, to make a withdrawal or a transfer to a different Telegram user, you do have to either enter a passcode or do Face ID or Touch ID, depending on what device you have, in order to actually make the transaction. So enable 2FA on Telegram and have some and add a passcode on your wallet, and then you'll be good to go.
Any thoughts as well? So one of the things that Mirth pointed out is that there's a lot of like impersonators as well, who will just kind of like create a similar username and choose the same profile picture, and then like message users. I think this has happened to a couple
That
members.
happened live on stream a month ago, I believe.
Yeah.
I feel like it's I don't know. Maybe I can give a best guess answer and
This does,
a little
this does happen, yeah, this does happen quite often. You can report them directly to Telegram, and with enough reports, Telegram will take notice. Also, if you send them to me personally, I will take a look and try to speed up the process.
I would love to. Oh, we should have done that when someone was impersonating myself and Keone during Monad in the morning. Like, I want to say 5 or 6 weeks ago.
That's what Mirth put in his comment. That was the reason he asked it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, and I wish I would have sent them directly to you. It's like just come in and just from the top, just chop the head off, make it a nice public sacrifice.
Next time, just send me a text, and I'll also get it reported.
Beautiful.
because it does. We have a lot of experience with how to effectively get rid of the imitators, just because we have been doing this for so long, and our main community is on Telegram, not on X, not on Discord. So we do take this very, very seriously.
Yeah, and I also just calling out some common best practices. Like if it's somebody that you think you know, like checking if you're actually in groups with that person that you would expect, clear your best common practice, checking the username. And then also if it happens to be, I've had this happen too, where the actual account just gets hacked. If everything looks right, but it feels fishy, ping somebody else that also knows this person and be like, hey, has this person messaged you? Because I had someone who like I really trust and actually look up to message me with this thing. I'm like, this person probably wouldn't say this to me or have me click this link or PDF. Guys, it's crypto. Use best security practices. Like, assume everything is trying to hurt you when conversing with anonymous accounts online.
So I had a couple of friends. Okay, I think one of the questions that you told me that you like had written down. One of them was anecdotes, crypto anecdotes. And actually, this one I didn't think of one actually, but now you do give me an idea, which is one of my friends and how what happened to his account. So actually, he got hacked by his own mum. So his mum had her Telegram hacked. Basically, someone sent her through a link because there was some kind of poll or fake poll in this case that wanted to vote her town as like top town of her country. 2024 or 2023.
Classic.
This happens
And obviously,
often.
the let's say the generation born in the 60s, 70s, obviously are very patriotic about the towns that they come from. And obviously, his mother clicked on the link and decided to vote for her town. However, the way that you verify your vote is by signing in through Telegram. And this wasn't just a sign in for the purposes of identifying a voter. They actually just stole your account at that point. So she ended up voting for her town, but at the same time lost access to her Telegram. And then it seems like her son was also quite patriotic or like proud of his town, and he did the same thing. And at that point, we had to delete all the sessions, so they both got their accounts back, but he lost. His friends lost like $20 or $30,000 through the scam, because then his account sent out messages to others saying, "Please send me USDT," and some people fell for it. So both an anecdote and a lesson for the future.
Yeah. Beware of anyone asking for USDT, especially just if it feels fishy. Generally, that's a fishy thing to ask. Like, people kind of know at this point not to use Telegram. If you actually need to ask your friend for USDT, also don't ask your friends for USDT. Get in the trenches and pull it out yourself. I guess it is kind of a bittersweet story, though. They did get to vote for their town, it seems like. So,
Hopefully the town won.
it's an expensive vote. $25,000 for that vote. Is it expensive? Is it worth it? That is up to them to decide. But yeah, I pray their town won after all of this trouble. Like, oh my gosh. Do we?
Yeah, there was, in the end, he managed to get some of it back somehow. So it is a bittersweet story that it wasn't the end of the world, basically.
Awesome. Well, I know we're coming up on time here. We were a little delayed in kicking off due to some technical difficulties, but we do have the carrot for the future as more and more apps go live on Monad, and many are in the coming days, weeks, and months. We'll have to run this back and get an update from the Telegram side as well, and get your thoughts, feedback, and learnings once we're a little bit deeper into the mainnet life cycle. But really appreciative of all the support. It's super exciting that Monad is the second EVM chain on Telegram wallet.
And the first DG.
And the
Exactly.
first CG.
So thank you very much for the support. Thank you for being here today. Thanks for working through the technical difficulties, and we'll look forward to bringing you back soon.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
You as well.
Are we doing the spins?
Yeah.
Dan?
Well, we have spins to spin.
It's basically the Mirth Mono wheel.
Yeah.
Where's Merce wheel?
All right. So we've got 3 spins.
I mean, he hasn't even like broken like 50.
I know. He's like, come on.
Yeah,
I
poor
think
Mirth.
can we pull Mert in while we spin for Mirth? Maybe we can
If he
parallelize.
calls in, yeah, but
Oh, Mert's not in
then,
yet.
then perfect.
Well, let's do this spin extremely slowly then.
I gotta move my death.
Get your
Dude,
death.
people in the chat are going crazy about the Liquid Death product placement.
Why? What are they saying?
Just like
Just murder your thirst.
yeah. Somebody said, "What's Liquid Death?"
Oh, just do it. I think that
5
is it.
Liquid Death on front. Dang.
Wait, so we just have, again, hopefully someone from Liquid Death is watching, because we have introduced at least one person
Yeah.
to the Liquid Death brand today on Throughput Thursday. This is Monad in the morning. Brought to you
Bingo.
by Liquid Death. We are murdering our thirst live on the air, and this spin
Powered
is
by Liquid Death.
for
Fuel.
Decatan.
Decatan. Wait, really? I thought it was-
Decatan.
Oh, Decatan. Okay.
Decatan.
Big wheel. Give me a
Come
big wheel.
on.
Come on.
50.
50.
50.
All right, Decatan.
50 Mon for Decatan.
Yes, sir.
War Song ID. Got the big wheel last
How many
time.
did we?
Yeah, well, we.
Okay, so
Was it not just Mirth Mono like 7 times with Telegram? Or
Yeah,
I-
but the war song, I got this figured out in the chats. I asked the chat and they came up with the dumbest answers, but it turns out it's war song Indonesia.
Oh, shout out War Song. Asking the good questions from Indonesia. This spin is for you. War Song Indonesia. Shout out the Indonads. Oh, there's that sound effect.
1,000.
All right, nice.
War Song.
Nice.
War Song.
War Song?
Yeah.
He's racking up.
Yeah, racking up. He's almost at 2,000. I
Dude,
think.
this is like, these are actually pretty good prizes. Like we gave up, what did Vikru got? 25,000 earlier. War Song.
Shout out MetaMask.
Yes, thanks MetaMask for sponsoring that spin on the fly. And now we have
Mirth Mono.
Mirth Mono. And has Mert called in yet?
No.
I'm gonna ping Mert. Danny, if you want to give Mirth Mono his
Mert Mono.
Mert Mono, maybe his
Mert Mono from Helium. Okay. All right. Mirth Mono. This one's for you. I'm praying for a big wheel for you, man. That was terrible.
what if that was the big wheel?
I know.
No, you got to get
143.
143. Bang.
143 chain ID, right?
Chain ID 143. I think that's also a meme coin, if I'm not mistaken.
While we're waiting for Mert.
Yes, Mert did just reply and said, so a few explicatives. He said, send me the link to retweet. And he said, yes, 1 second.
Oh,
So-
that's actually good that we'll get the Mert retweet.
We'll get the Mert retweet, guys. When Mert retweet, go to Mert's profile. I think it's 0xMERT_. So go to his Twitter profile. And when he retweets, just spam him, asking him to sponsor a wheel spin. Be like, please sponsor one, please sponsor one. And he'll see that, and then he'll come in.
Okay. All right. He's here.
We have him.
Bingo.
He's coming on in a second.
6th guest of the day. This is awesome.
Oh my gosh, we might need our 6th liquid death of the day for our 6th guest of the day. Bring another white one in here. Bang.
Bingo.
Where
You've got the Celsius in the corner, and they didn't send us free beverages, so
right? I just enjoy the caffeine amount of
So
Celsius.
they have energy drinks, I'm pretty sure. So maybe we can get some of those.
Oh, we love to see it. We have Mert live.
Oh,
How are
Yo.
we doing? We can
Hello.
see you. What's going on?
not much. Can you hear me? Sorry, I'm late.
no worries. We were drinking some liquid deaths. We're spinning the wheel today and giving away MON to the community. So we're on hour 2.5 of the stream. No worries. We'll keep it flexible.
Oh, I gotta get the link as well.
That's the water, right? Liquid death.
Yeah, they sent us a bunch of waters and told us to murder our thirst live on stream, and we are doing just that.
Sweet. They don't have those in Dubai. We should have some.
There
They
we
don't
go.
have caffeine or anything, right?
They have these teas which have 30 milligrams of caffeine, which means you can drink quite a lot of
Oh,
them.
all right. Can you
Just
get
like
them
a little
to send it
boost.
to me too? I'll do some tweeting for them.
If you listen, I don't know how the Liquid Death side works. I have not actually talked to them, but they did send us a bunch, and it's getting so much attention this stream that I would be very surprised if the head of marketing at Liquid Death doesn't reach out to us to sponsor this show, and potentially Mert as well. You get a 2-for-1.
Of course.
Mert, how are you doing today? How is Dubai treating you?
Excellent. I've been helping ship, or really tweeting and then taking credit for the work that my devs are doing for our Explorer orb, and just tweeting about Zcash, privacy, Solana, and trading some Monad too on Solana as well.
Nice.
There we go. Well, Mert, everyone knows you as the person that brought Wi-Fi and cellular data to the blockchain. They shouldn't know you as that because that is not actually what you've done, but it is still a pretty good bit. Maybe would love to talk about Orb. I think that's probably what people want to hear about. But Zcash, it is just, it's one of the pillars of crypto. Like anyone who's been around the space for a long time has probably gone down that rabbit hole, but a lot more people seem to have gone down it recently. What's kind of the whole bit around Zcash? Why is it important? Why is privacy important?
Well, the short answer is that, look, when you're on the internet, all your shit is encrypted, right? Your files, your data, your messages, your photos. And if you look at crypto, it turns out that your money itself is actually not encrypted, which seems ridiculous. Like the pictures of your food are encrypted, your selfies are encrypted, but your money is actually completely transparent. Now, there is this very thin layer of pseudo anonymity where you don't necessarily know who owns what address. But if you've ever been on a Block Explorer or Arkham, or if you're an exchange or anything, you know who those people are. And what's more, you know how they're related to other entities. You can trace these things. Zach does this for a living, right? Like, it's pretty absurd in my view that crypto, which stands for cryptography, does not use cryptography for the purpose it was supposed to, which is privacy, right? That's what the cypherpunks, they created the industry, and their entire premise is we're going to use cryptography for open source and privacy.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, crypto is going to be totally transparent.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, everyone can see everything you do forever.
Yeah, and like, it's not people. I think there's historical reasons people have psyoped themselves to think like, look, it's supposed to be transparent, right? Like this is the beauty of crypto or something. But that's actually not the case. That's actually a talking point for when crypto was so fringe that you need to convince like the institutions, like, hey, we're not actually using this for ransomware. But it's like, okay, how about now that everybody is using blockchains and they're going to continue to, and these fintechs come on chain and all these different things, now everyday people, not just ransomware people, everyday people, now none of them have privacy. And what's more, since like cash is being outlawed and slowly deprecated in many places, and the entire world is going more digital, you are actually in a place where crypto is reducing the amount of freedom in the world compared to the existing system, which sounds a little exaggerated, but if you think about it, it's actually completely true. You gain some freedom in some aspects, like let's say custody, self-custody, right? You can actually store your own money, assuming the Canadian government doesn't come after you, which they've done.
I mean, you don't drive trucks in Canada.
Exactly. But however, you are sacrificing one of the core pillars, which is the right to not disclose things you don't need to disclose, right? Like, you don't do this with anything else. And this is like a total bug today that privacy is not the norm for crypto. And with Zcash, it's just, I think the easiest way to think of it is just private Bitcoin, right? I don't think it's a replacement to Bitcoin. I don't think it's better or worse than something else. But I do think if you reason from first principles on like, what does internet money that doesn't really do anything except be used as a store of value look like? Well, I think it needs to be private. I think it obviously needs to be scarce. and then it needs to have like good monetary properties in terms of inflation and all these different things. It also needs to be fungible, right? Like one of the things is cash is fungible, gold is fungible, you can melt it, but Bitcoin, or let's say any crypto asset with a history, is technically not fungible, because you can use that history, which is attached to the asset, to say, hey, we're actually not going to take this because it has a weird history, right? So anyways, I'm kind of rambling at this point, but
Well, that's a
I
pretty
think
good
it's
point, actually.
exactly right. And so you need to, like, the way I think of it is like, I think the only blockchains that will benefit from transparency will be ones that require it for PMF. And what I mean by that is the active encryption adds some latency. And so I think HFT specialized chains like a Solana and a Monad, or like, let's say, fast finance specialized chains, probably are the only ones okay where you don't need encryption built in. But anything that doesn't have performance as a first class property has to be encrypted by default. Like it needs to go from the HTTP internet to the HTTPS internet.
That's a beautiful way to put it, actually. I think you just dropped like 3 different taglines in there. And I think that may be a good angle for this, because you have a few things to talk about here. Is like Mert pills us on X. So first, Mert has pilled us on Zcash. Would love to hear what the Mert pill would be on trading MON on Solana. Clearly, both of these things are, you're close to both of these. You have a very good understanding of them. Yeah, I think a lot of people saw Solana tweeting about Mana. They're like, what's going on? They changed the colors. Can you help people just make sense of what happened and maybe give your take on it?
Yes. Well, I think people perhaps weren't used to seeing something like this before, which I think they have seen this before. They just haven't seen it framed this way before. But so I think the easiest way to consider is that, generally speaking, whenever you're launching a token, especially a big L1 token, something you need help with is distribution from exchanges, right? You have all these investors, retail, institutional, informed, uninformed, all these different types, and they basically their portal to crypto is a centralized thing, which is Coinbase or Binance or something like this. And I think some of these exchanges certainly have used this to their advantage to basically get quite favorable terms for themselves at the expense of the team that is actually doing the launch. And like, look, I'm not one of those who thinks that like this is evil or something. I think that's just business. Like, if you think you need that exchange, then you're willingly paying that price, then okay, you're doing that. However, in the free market, there should be competition, right? And I think that's just what's happened here, which is to say, if Solana and like eventually Monad are to compete with finance, right, centralized finance versus decentralized finance, then you need to be able to do the same set of things in a decentralized way without sacrificing quality, or really not sacrificing anything, right? Otherwise, consumers won't change behavior. And so this is kind of the same thing, which is to say, instead of being able to buy the token on Binance and potentially have the KYC and all this, you're just buying it on Solana, right? You basically treat Solana like there's some set of users that treat Solana as their main exchange or main portal for crypto, right? And then this helps you get users for the token, for the asset, right? Because the asset is extremely important for an L1. This helps you get inflow that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten because people would have been too lazy to be like, oh, I'm not going to go to this place, right? And like bridging is just frankly quite complex in general for people who haven't been here for like longer than a year. So it's distribution except in a decentralized way instead of a centralized way.
Equal access distribution, taking, if you think about it in some kind of poetic way, the purpose of crypto is to decentralize and give access to the world, take control and access from centralized systems and distribute them to the many via networks. And that kind of is what you just described, where centralized exchanges was the main way that people would interact with new assets, and Solana has decentralized that process. So very, very cool to see. Shout out the Solana team. Very fun to work with. It's always cool when you get a team that's very liberal with retweets on their main account. Just from a Twitter addict, that's always pretty fun. I have my third question to ask Mert Pillis on. Is that okay if I move with it, Danny? Or
Yeah, move with it. I also have my eye on a question that came in from our most popular question asker.
This is the Mirth Mono show.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, so Mert, the final thing that we would love to get pilled on are orbs. You guys recently announced them. What is this, right? Can you describe it for our average listener? Maybe not our average, maybe like our more intelligent side of listeners. Why they're important, and what you're excited about.
For orb?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, okay. So the short answer is that I think explorers are this thing that have been sitting in plain sight the whole time without improving in any way for 5 years. And look, I don't mean any offense. It's just the case. They're just boring to work with. They don't necessarily do anything that I expect them to do. And I think it's very easy to not even notice the status quo because you're so used to you're not even asking yourself why shouldn't this be better. So unfortunately, I can't disclose too much, but I can say that I think you can reimagine how explorers work to better fit how consumers interact with crypto in general. Like, I don't think you need all these separate different portals, and you shouldn't need to know so many different things. Like, the experience should be quite simple. The fun fact here, of course, is that this was why I started Helios. And what people probably don't know is that Helios was actually not an RPC provider or an infrastructure provider at all. In 2021, when Solana NFTs were taking off, there were actually no explorers on Solana. There was just a default one. And there was no analytics sites. And so what I would do is I would write indexers on my own, and then I would put them on an Excel spreadsheet and then use Excel charts to make a thread. Then I was like, look, and this actually goes in with the privacy point. What exactly is the point of transparency in blockchains if you can't actually understand the data that is transparent, right? Like, it's like saying, I'm transparently speaking Chinese to you. It's like, I'm Turkish. What am I supposed to do with this information? I'm
standing right in front of you, but you have to look through a kaleidoscope. You can't see anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's clearly an inefficiency at the very least. And so we started Helios to make the blockchain human readable. That was actually the first thesis. And so all we had was these APIs that you would feed in a transaction, and it would say, this was a swap that happened on such and such. And it would make it readable. It would make it easy to understand for a wallet, for any consumer. In fact, Crossmint, who's now a much bigger team, was our first customer, and they were using it to train credit card fraud models. And I was like, oh shit, that's actually pretty interesting. But then when we were building that, we had to use RPCs. And then I was like, oh wait, RPCs kind of suck on Solana. And we can't necessarily build anything on Solana if the RPCs suck. But Solana is the only thing that works today, and this is 2021. And so we need to also fix RPCs. And then I was like, as we kept doing this, we're like, okay, actually, basically everything is broken. And so we need to keep building all this infrastructure such that people actually can build on top of Solana. Otherwise, Solana's not going to exist. And so we kept doing that. I think it's been 3 years now, and I think we're basically at the stage where it's quite good, in my view, the developer experience data infrastructure. And so now we can actually come back to the original thesis of the company, which is helping people work with blockchains in a human readable way.
Love it. We're 3 for 3.
Are pilled.
We're 3 for 3.
Pilled on orb. It is funny, Mert, that you started it off with explorers were this thing that have been forefront in crypto for 5 years and have not improved. And I was like, there are a lot of things like that in crypto, actually, when you sit and think about it.
It is actually a very, very natural segue into the question that I wanted to ask from shout out Mirth Mono, one of our best question askers, and this is one of his best questions, I think. So we'll see. Hypothetical situation: we have a hard reset, and the price of every coin and token drops to 0 tomorrow, but all the infrastructure remains intact. What builders, products, or primitives would still survive, and which would be wiped out?
Okay, Murph.
That's a pretty good question.
Okay,
It's very
Murph.
philosophical.
It's pretty difficult to just answer live on stream, but I am kind of interested to see.
Yeah, that's why I said we'll give it a whirl.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
think that the question's basically like, look, the teams that were early, like Ethereum, very early in crypto, it accumulated a ton of stuff. But if it was built today and everyone started at the same time today, would it still be important? Like, it wipe the slate clean, restart. How's it play out?
Well, the way I'm thinking about this is that all the infrastructure is the same, but the prices are 0, which, if you think of it from a technical perspective, means there's going to be a lot of volatility, which means that anything that relies on that, so like a borrow lend, I think is going to get destroyed, right? Like, I think Aave does not survive by definition in that case, or Camino or any borrow lend thing. I think stable coins clearly survive, so payments. However, you need to also think that the token is also an anti-spam measure for block space, which is to say, if the prices are 0, now bots can completely flood the blockchain. I'm just thinking of like some extreme scenario where it's now. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's so funny that like we took this in completely different directions. Like my understanding of the intent of the question was like, all right, nobody has any momentum, no users or anything, just everyone start from 0. Which blockchain infrastructure is the best and will win? And I think he was expecting like, well, Zcash might be more than Bitcoin because it's actually Bitcoin but better, and like maybe Mana and Ethereum are at different places, but Solana has pretty good properties. And I think you were like,
Yeah.
if there was a 10-10 flash crash to 0, borrow lend destroyed, stable coins take. But the way he asked the question is actually the way that you have framed it. So I don't know, maybe keep running with this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking like the technical, like if the prices are actually 0, then it doesn't necessarily matter what protocols are running because the blockchain has to work. And if it's 0, then it's technically infinitely cheap to just DDoS the blockchain. And so like, I'm just, maybe I have some PTSD from Solana.
Yeah, you're like, I don't have to imagine. Price was at 0, and this is what happened.
But actually, to completely backtrack, I do think the question of if there was a great reset, I do think that there is like basically no chance that Bitcoin would be ahead of Zcash. Because if you just start from first principles, it is the first principles correct way of how you would build an internet native store of value. Nobody would want to willingly compromise on privacy or fungibility. That said, the Bitcoin social effect now is by far the strongest thing it has going for it, and that's just not going to be beaten. And it doesn't need to be beaten, right? They can just be alternatives. So I just think the concept of there only being one money for all of the internet seems a little unlikely, given that humans can't agree on anything ever anywhere. So it seems unlikely that there would always be one on the internet, right? You just what you need is the Nassim Taleb, the intolerant minority rule, which is to say you need some small set of people who are intolerant, like let's say lactose intolerant, like let's say kosher, let's say halal. You just need those people, or like peanut butter allergies. Anytime you have this population that's small but has intolerant preferences that they will not use anything but that thing, that's all you need. And to think that there would only be one store of value would mean that there exists no such people. And I think that's impossible. So anyway, I didn't really answer the question, to be honest, but I think
is it good?
Monad,
Is it
cash go up.
Yeah. Oh my god! Fun fact: Nassim Taleb, the only person I actually like who has me blocked on Twitter.
Same.
I love it. Are you blocked too?
I used to
Yeah,
scroll
dude.
in like 2020.
Yeah, exact same thing. You blocked me in 2021. I'm like, I've read every one of your books. I'm a huge fan. He's blocked. He doesn't care.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, somewhat along those lines, another longtime Monad in the Morning superfan asks, shout out Monkey Duffy 957.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Mert, do you have any feedback about Monad? It's pretty early into the mainnet here. I think we're 9 or 10 days in now.
10 days.
But yeah, any thoughts?
Well, I think one of the things in the feedback I have is not necessarily from the point of view of a user, but maybe as part of the team. And it would be that to the extent possible, I would ignore price in any direction. Like, do not think price going up is a good thing, and do not think price going down is a bad thing, because the reason I say that is that with these things that are early projects, you actually kind of want you want a very strong signal to noise ratio. And prices are the easiest thing that, or the most strong, are the strongest thing that distort a signal. And the reason is because at the early formation of any product, company, structure, whatever, you need to first make sure it survives contact with reality, right? You need to hit it in all sorts of different directions. And you need to gain information on, like, okay, why are people using this, right? Like, what is the median developer's request? What is the intolerant developer's request? What is the institutions, like, what are their thoughts? All these different things. You need all this information. You need all the information to be detached from price so that the information itself has a high signal ratio. Once you have that, then you take some bold bets on doubling down on that signal. And then you iterate to PMF, and then the price takes care of itself. At least that's kind of what Solana did, in my view, where, like, look, price is going down from, like, basically 300 to 8. And it's like, but if you were looking at the things that mattered without looking at the things that didn't matter, then you were actually in a pretty good position because you had a lot of information. Like, for me, that information was, okay, the chain kept going down because of spam problems. Everybody else is going to have these problems. Nobody has solved it. Solana will be the first to solve it because it's had the most problems. Therefore, when the next cycle comes, it's going to be best handled to serve it. And that's what happened, right? Like, so it turns out the cycle was meme coins, and people think Solana did, like, some manual effort to attract meme coins. That is not at all what happened, right? Other teams actually had meme coin funds. Solana did not have this. On Solana, people were literally just sending, if you guys remember that meta where people were just sending addresses and then people were just sending money to the addresses. And then somebody's like, actually, we should probably make this into a launch pad. And that's what happened. But the reason it worked is because we knew from the product feedback that that's what we need to work on for next time. And so I think with Monad, my feedback would be that, like, just ruthlessly cut out anything that is not uniquely adding signal. And then you need to be very fast. I think it's roughly an arms race. Like the way, like, I think Monad market cap, I didn't check it, but, like, it's obviously smaller than, like, the top, 20. And the way that works is it's the physics formula for momentum, right? P equals mv, mass times velocity. Your mass is small, but your velocity is, so that's how you have to make up for momentum, right? If the mass is small and fixed, you need to increase velocity, which means speed, but velocity is also a vector, which means direction. So you need to go super fast in a specific direction. And then as you gain momentum, I feel like everything kind of clears itself it clears itself to finding success.
Love that. Yeah, and in the same way that this show is basically an unpaid shill for Liquid Death, Mert just gave an unpaid shill for Monad Momentum, the incentives and rewards program that is kicked off with the launch of the chain.
All right.
Mert, yeah. you had a ton of really good insights there. Honestly, you can boil it down to focus on the fundamentals and the things that matter, the things you can control, and go from there. I think one unique approach to launch, or one framing I really liked that you said was like, make sure you survive contact with reality. And like that to me is what the first 2 weeks of MON at launch basically is. And the issue is that since it took 3-ish years for MON Mania to come, a lot of people are like, okay, I want all of the really fun rides at Disney World right away. And the focus has been make sure you survive contact with reality. Once you have that set, move up from there. And so yeah, you've seen a lot of launches where people basically, I don't know how else to say this, people blow their load immediately to try to get as much speed as they can in the first day of launch, and then everything falls apart and there is no momentum. And I think consciously taking a much slower start and then building up, our bet is that is a much healthier way to actually bring a blockchain to life that should have a very, be a good blockchain, do the things that good blockchains are supposed to do.
You guys need like a one-liner, you need like decentralized NASDAQ or like private Bitcoin or like digital gold. What is the one-liner for Monad? I think that'll help quite a bit, actually. Like I'm not trolling. I think that would quite help. So
yeah, if you have any one-liners, Mert, we will retweet you from the main account, even if you try and it's decent.
There was a whole episode where we were trying to come up with one-liners.
I know.
I don't even remember any of them.
Dude, the crazy thing is it's like every single person says that, and I'm like, all right, what do you got? And they're like, well, I don't know. What do you think? like, yeah, that's true. I probably should be the person to come up with it. I'm thinking. There's a couple things you could do. People gravitate towards different sides of it. I know we got Mirth's question. We're also over time.
Yeah, Mirth.
I'm also starving. Maybe if we have one other good one, or
yeah, I don't know if you have to drop. We're over time here. Mert, want to respect your time.
All good.
Let's jump into some final spins. We got a lot of slop. Some good other questions as well, but
a lot of slop.
We'll hope to have Mert on in the near future. Mert, you've been an awesome supporter of the pipeline, and very much so appreciate that. Do a couple spins. We've got this small wheel. On the small wheel, there's one space where you can go to the big wheel, which has
spaces.
much.
I added 2.
Oh, 2 spaces now. Okay, we got 2 spaces that go to a big wheel with bigger and better prizes. It's just more Mon, but that is bigger and better. And this one is for Mirth Mono. He's getting a lot of spins today.
4th spin of the day, maybe?
Yeah, we gotta hope he's been getting peanuts thus far.
Big wheel.
143 again.
Wait, is it?
143.
It's sticky around 143. Let me change this. That wasn't a real spin. Gonna try it again.
Oh, it didn't meet regulations. Wheel was not regulated.
10.
We'll give you the 143. That's my fault. The better of two. Oh my gosh.
My goodness gracious.
Okay,
All right,
who else?
last spin of the day for Monkey Duffy 957. Appreciate you, Monkey Duffy.
Danny, you've had more luck on the big wheel spins. Let's see
All right.
what we can get here.
Hopefully.
2,500.
2,500. That's the best on the little wheel, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it is for sure.
Well,
All right.
minus the big wheel.
We are yet to hit a jackpot. What is the jackpot's?
69,000
MON. I'm confident we will hit that eventually, but it is yet to be seen. Mert, really appreciate you coming on today. I guess actually we have your Twitter handle up on the stream. Definitely go follow Mert if somehow you live under a rock and you have not followed him yet. Some awesome takes, but Mert, thank you so much for coming on.
On the Thread Guy list.
In Thread Guy's list, I think I was number 70, which I'll take, dude. I was not, I'll take 70.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Mert.
Appreciate
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, that is Throughput Thursday. This is Monad
In the morning.
with our thirsts properly quenched by liquid.
Dude, how
death.
many did we drink?
We put up some numbers today.
Should we try to, like, at each episode, drink as many liquid deaths as
We're
we
going to
can?
be having intermissions every 10 minutes.
Well, at least one person needs to stay on stream at all times.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, thank you for joining us on the first ever Monad in the Morning of Mainnet. This was an action-packed stream. We will catch you next week, and we will be spinning next week, not only for question askers, but for those who post the best clips of the show this week. Hit the timeline, tag the guests, tag the pipeline, and
We also have some surprises that we'll be doing and implementing into the wheel too. So,
Next week?
Yeah. So there's always going to be a couple surprises.
The wheel. Basically, we're just gonna keep upping the
Yeah.
prizes on the wheel until we get to 1 million concurrent viewers.
Yeah.
Eventually, it would have to happen. Like, you know.
Also, one thing, Keone started off the beginning of this, and we've been doing this consistently, that this is a marathon. Like, this is not just a sprint. And I wanted to say, I'm running 50 miles on Saturday. So I will be able to tell you next week what it's like.
We will find out what it's like to run 2 marathons.
Are you
at
going
the
to
same
sprint?
time.
Are you going to sprint out of
I
the
am
gate?
not sprinting out
You're
the
not
gate.
going to sprint. Okay.
They
well,
said
you're-
the first 13 miles is the hardest. So
Well, they lied. That definitely will not be the hardest part of 50, but, you know.
Best
we're-
of luck, Jessup.
We're rooting for you. Everyone who followed along today, thank you for watching Monad in the Morning. This was a wonderful Throughput Thursday, and we will see you.